You can never be in the wrong for just educating people.
You can do more than you think you can.
Stand for something or fall for everything.
My name is Blaze Omakoa. I'm 20 years old. I'm a filmmaker here from Modesto, and I do a lot of the graphic design work for NSS.
My name is Jozette Luke. I'm 20 years old. I am one of the co-founders of NSS, and I currently attend Long Beach State as a human resource management major with a minor in psychology.
Hello, my name is Brianna Jones. I'm 20 years old. I am also the co-founder of NSS, Never Stay Silent. I attend Modesto Junior College with a major. I'm studying to be an elementary school teacher. Just as far as the drive and the inspiration, like for just looking at the Modesto March, for that one, I think it was kind of just me being like fed up and tired of just like seeing things be the same, and like so many people were asking, like when we decided to put the march on in Modesto, like why march in Modesto, not go to Minneapolis or not go to bigger cities. And like the truth and the reality is we face racism and injustice anywhere in the world, like in any city, whether it's major or small. And so for that, it's kind of just recognizing that you don't need to go in a bigger city. Like we can fight it here where we live, where we lay our head down, and where we work in. And as far as making it official, it's just that as well, like just the community support that we've gotten based off of that march, especially coming from we live in neighboring conservative towns, so we are in like the center of just surrounding conservative cities. And so to see our community come together in the amount that it did, saying like we see you, we hear you, we stand for you, was just so amazing to see.
If you look at just the things that people are pushing for across the country, like defund the police, if you look at the Modesto budget, our police has over about 50% of the general fund. Mm-hmm. They have 70 million, and then you go to education or a community with 6.7 million. Like those things that big cities are pushing for and you see all over the news, it's the same thing. Just because our city is smaller doesn't mean that we shouldn't fight for the same things. Mm-hmm. If we're speaking directly about defund the police, I mean, yeah, Modesto MPD should be defunded, and those funds should definitely be reallocated. If you want to talk about Black and Brown communities being underserved here, yeah, there's communities here that don't even have sidewalks. There's communities that don't even count as a district, so they don't get any representation in city council. Mm-hmm. So these are things that we have to start bringing light to, because we want Modesto to be a city where people want to keep their talents here. Yeah. They want to keep their ideas here. They want to have a business here. They want to pursue film here. They want to stay here and make it a town where you're not ashamed, or a town that you're running from. As soon as I graduated high school, I couldn't wait to get out. I was like, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm going to Long Beach. You guys are going to see me again. See ya, because my experiences here weren't good. I lived here my whole life, and there was no one ever, really in the forefront fighting for things or really listening to things. I have endless stories in high school about racial slurs being thrown and taking it up with authority and nothing being done. Like, you really feel like you don't matter because no one's listening to you. So I just think it's important, since coming back home and diving into all this stuff, how important it is to bring all this stuff to light and to really start pushing for change, because quite frankly, I'm tired of having the same mayor for hella years. I mean, a lot of years. And the same city council members, and, unanimously voting on things, and there's no type of discussion. Everything just passes. Mm-hmm. Everything passes. There's no research. There's no, so it's really just fed up, and it's not fair. It's not fair to the people. It's not fair to the people that they're supposed to be representing. So we started off with the march, and then
yes,
we started off with the march. We helped put on the visual, and then we did a 24-hour sit-in. So we sat in front of Stanislaus County Jail. That was kind of the area we were at. And we camped out for 24 hours. And so every 3 hours, we would call for an hour straight. And we were calling council members, PD, MPD, sheriffs, just flooding all the lines and calls. And it was around the time when we had just declared emergency state in Stanislaus County. We were kind of just outraged. It was also right after the Oakdale protest where anti-protesters assaulted one of BLM protesters. So it was just everybody's emotions were heightened. We felt like, we want to say something, we want to do something about it. So that's where the 24-hour sit-in came in. Then after that, we went straight to planning Juneteenth. So we actually held our very own Juneteenth event. It was the first year doing it. So we had Black artists come out, we had a vendor come out, we had spoken word, we had praise dance team come out. We had other organizations that had just recently started. We invited them out. We had Modesto Pride come out. We had voter registration, which is one of the most important things. And one of the things I'm most proud of that whole day was getting people to vote.
I know something that I really push between everybody like in NSS is to really just show our support in other things that are hosted within the community as well. When we weren't in between everything that we did, that anything that we put on by NSS, in between that, we were always out in the community supporting the different organizations, actions over hashtag local teams for change. And then there's Turlock BLM, just the different organizations that vote for the Valley, just the different organizations that are here in Modesto, Ripon, and Turlock. Like, we really try our best to go out and to support them, because at the end of the day, like, we're all fighting for the same thing. So whenever we're not doing something, we really push on getting the community to those events as well. In a way, we do try our best to not necessarily target young people, but we definitely do want to inspire the young people and the younger generation.
We are attracting a lot of our young demographic because I would say mainly because we are pretty involved in the community. Like, we all have a lot of friends who are involved with this stuff and the protests, but NSS is open to pretty much anybody who just wants to stand and fight.
Where we do really target young people is when we start talking about voting, because in our county, locally, the numbers just aren't there. We're just not showing up. I mean, people in general just aren't showing up, but if we can really reach out and use our platform to educate people on where to vote, how to run, in that aspect, I feel like that's where we really shoot at the younger people, because there's just so many of us and we're just not showing up. And the elections locally, they would be so much different if we really did come out and vote. Your vote is your voice, absolutely.
It's so important to look into your local politics. I feel like when people get into like the BLM or just like any type of social justice movement, like the main thing is to go straight to the White House. I understand that, but it's so important to look into local politics, because it's the little change that you make in your city that will overall make a difference like within the world. Like, if we start to make little changes within our cities everywhere around the world, like, you're already closer to change.
I think another aspect that we have an advantage in is technology and how fast we can grow our platform. We've been all about Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I mean, all we're trying to do is make the information easily accessible to you, so you're not trying to dig for stats in your city for 30 minutes and then you give up. We're trying to make it, easy to read. It's right there. Here's the highway. Here's our website.
And you know what? I think we definitely have that advantage because we know how to work the platforms. Whereas you look at all these other boomery type of establishments and their social media, it's not there because they don't understand the
importance of it now.
Yeah, it's almost like a game too, because you got to think like, okay, what's gonna look good for the next post, but then what are we posting about, or how far ahead
it's not about just how you look, but the content.
Also, sweet and simple is like the way to go. Like, it doesn't have to be this super long, like beautifully done thing. Like, if it catches your eye within the first like couple of seconds, like, you already have them hooked. You can't go wrong if you're just putting facts out there. Does that make sense? Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can never be in the wrong for just educating people on things, and that's something that I'll stand by forever. We do want to do so much, and we will, and I'm very excited to see where we go, just because I know like the effect that we can have like within the community and within just our generation and within the world potentially one day.
I'm excited for what we're going to do. I'm excited for our community to keep stepping out and stepping forward with us. I think that we're going to do our community proud. And I think that we're fighting for all the right things. You know, we are learning, we are young, and we are starting our own organization. So it is going to be sometimes trial and error, and I'm sure we'll mess up along the way. But for the most part, I just want to say thank you for all the support we continue to get.
If you would like to be more involved, there are petitions, there's so much stuff out there right now, and like ways that you don't even have to spend money to get involved with everything going on. The Black Lives Matter movement is a movement, not a moment. I heard someone say that, and I really like that, so I'm gonna steal it.
And then to all the viewers, I think if there was one thing that you get from watching this video, whether you're young or you're old, I genuinely just want you to understand that your age doesn't matter. Like, you really can. Like, it's in our mission statement. I say it every single time I get to say it, but like, you can do more than you think you can. But also, if you guys do choose to, you know, create something in your own town, in your hometown, I want you to never be discouraged by small beginnings.